firstly, ladies and gentlemen, we do not want to bring change to the status quo. And the opposition has presented to us that it's a public opinion versus national security. You see, they said that there's this imminent threat, unexpected situations like 911, and that's exactly why we need to fund our national forces in times, so that in unexpected times we can retaliate, we can show them what we have. It is also an act of deterrence. It is an act of security. We need to have backups. That's why we need to have our national forces there to act as deterrents, and in times we can retaliate to such unexpected situations. They say it's public opinion. You see, public opinion versus versus security. The public opinion about war is definitely killing, but they know that when they feel threatened, like right now there's this imminent threat of terrorism, when they feel threatened, their opinion will change, and that's why we need to fund our national armed forces. You see, and then they said that, they said they want to have a choice. Do we actually limit them to all of their choices? Do we actually say, you know, whatever choices they want, do we give it to them? Like they say that, you know, welfare, like giving to the poor, that doesn't concern me, you know. I live my life, I have what I have now. I do not want to play a part like them. That's why, no man. That's why we say that there is a national duty for all citizens to actually fund the war, to fund national armed forces, even though they can't be at the frontiers fighting the war. And it is up to the government's discretion to actually how they use the up to the government's discretion how they use the taxes, which is their source of revenue. And the government is here to lead. You see, if you give them all the choices, then what's the government for? So, and then our government has this discretion, and then they have already told the people how they are going to use it, and they have to pass through people which actually believe that they are going to do it this way, and that's why the people vote for them, and especially in Western first world democracies in like the United States. And so, the fate of the nation actually lies on the armed forces. Like I said, there's an imminent threat from against terrorism, so we need to actually continuous research and development to bring our level of technology up to one class above, or perhaps more classes above our enemies, and this is how we actually can act as deterrents again. Yes, sir.
But basically, on the part of terrorism is basically a group of people of a small bunch that wants to take over a particular country or war.
But
so you don't have to.
You see, they are actually pushing the radical ideas to us, and they are causing us harm. So how do we retaliate? We sit back and say, no, we don't do anything, and our armed forces are incapable of doing anything. Is that what you want? So the status quo has the answer. And every citizen has a role to play, like my first speaker has said. We need people to actually support their fellow citizens who are actually in the frontier, who are actually in the frontier fighting this war. And we need to draw the line. Like whatever the citizens want, whatever the citizens do we actually give them everything they want, or we just say what, or we just like listen to them and then we address them? But if it's too unreasonable, do we still give it to them? Like now, they can specify, they can specify their taxes to go, and can they next time specify what laws they want to bring, what laws should be removed, and all these things? Will it be too much? So we should actually draw a line between here, and no means no, because we are the government. You should have trust in us that our aim is to bring out the best for the nation. Yes, ma'am.
So we should allow people to continue paying taxes to something that has already killed their family?
You see, if the people have already this mindset of when they join the army, that they are prepared, they are willing to die for the nation, and it is an honorable thing to do so, because you are doing it for the greater good, which is actually to save the remaining nations or the future prospective victims if you do not stop these radical groups like terrorism and like nuclear weapons like of mass destruction, like the North Korea and Iran perhaps. And you see that there's this thing that we need to address. We do not need to address this motion because that the status quo has all the answers. When people return home having victory on their side, victorious, it's actually an honorable thing. It's not a disgrace. No man, it's not a disgrace. There's no physical trauma to the family because what they hear is from the media. Do they actually get what exactly happened over at the other side? They don't. And do actually media present them the truthful point of view, or is just their personal perspectives? And this is what exactly people from your home country are experiencing, are getting, and they say it's a physical trauma. Perhaps the reporter wants to make a big story out of it, and we actually believe them, and we say that it's physical trauma. No man, it's daunting to us that we should stop this thing, you know. We should stop the killings. But what if we really stop this war to the other side? These continuous killings of radical groups will actually continue. They won't stop. Like the recent Jakarta bombings, did they ever stop despite all the efforts set up by the United States? Yes, ma'am.
Is that why we should give the citizens the choice to choose where they want the money to go to, whether the armed forces or not, so that to lower the
that's precisely why we should not do. You see, if we give them a choice, then the government says yes. Then what will happen to us? You know, we will then become vulnerable to these groups because we are now having less money to fund our national armed forces and national development, which will in return bring our defenses, our level of technology up one class above, so that they will actually know, you know, it will be insane to attack them. We will definitely lose. We want to bring out that image to actually protect all the citizens behind us, which is exactly what the government should do and what the government is doing. And what was the bit? 6 minutes. Okay. And then we should not we should draw this line to say that if the citizens want to have a choice, we actually give it to them. You see, there will be this chain effecting of requests coming in that we want change. But what type of change do you want? Do you want to remove the entire law system, or what do you want? Like, if it's reasonable, of course it's good. And then we also need we should also believe that this national security is the most important thing, which is why we only have one purpose, which was to increase our national security so that we are not vulnerable to unexpected situations like 911. And so this motion should fall. Thank you.